am Paul Silliphant. Since I was a child, I've had sensitivity to and encounters with the paranormal. I've spent over 30 years peering into the darkness of the unknown, immersing myself deep into the strange and the mysterious. Inspired by my own childhood encounters, I started seeking answers by investigating stories of ghosts and haunted locations. My mission has been to document occurrences of paranormal activity and search for the truth about what happens in the dark hours. Down by the harbor in Cobourg, Ontario, is the King George Inn. It is a former governor's mansion and jail. In 1906, it was converted into a jail. Jail cells and the huge concrete walls surrounding the courtyard were added. It was the largest jail of its time in the area and held up to 100 prisoners. Both male and female convicts called it home. Some didn't leave. Executions by hanging did take place.
I'm Vanessa. I'm the manager of the King George Inn. I had finished getting a room set up for some guests. I had made sure everything was clean and tidy. Then I left the room. I then went to take care of some other rooms, then was walking back along the hallway. I stopped. Outside the room I had just cleaned, I could hear sounds coming from in the room. This was not the first time that we have found TVs on in rooms when we knew that we had turned them off. It seems to be a very common occurrence.
Many regular guests like to come and stay at the King George Inn. One regular couple are two sisters who have the time to travel.
It's beautiful.
I like it.
The sisters like to try a different room each time they stay. After getting settled in, the sisters went out for the day. After a nice day of sightseeing, they returned.
How are you doing?
That was a nice day, but I'm ready for bed.
Me too.
The two women got settled in for what they assumed would be a peaceful night. Most of the night was peaceful. The bang woke her up, but she was not sure what she had heard. She couldn't figure out what had woken her. She must have imagined it.
What was that? Did you hear that? Did you feel that?
Hear what?
There was a loud bang and my bed shook.
It's probably just a truck. Go back to bed.
Maybe she had imagined it. Maybe it was a truck driving by. Maybe it was something else. Either way, she was startled and now feeling very uneasy. No one else in the inn had heard or felt anything, but they were adamant that something had been in their room, banging and shaking the beds. They still come to visit the inn, but neither will stay in that room again. In room 8, behind a little locked door, is a stairway that goes up to the attic. It would have been where the house staff would have lived when it was a governor's mansion. No guests are allowed up there, and the door is always locked. Rob is another regular guest. He has heard some of the stories about strange things happening in the inn. Rob had turned in for the night. Just like in the previous room, as Rob slept, there was suddenly a loud bang on the wall above his head. The bang startled Rob, but the sound of the footsteps coming from behind the wall really unnerved him. Then Rob remembered the little door in his room. The door was locked. It is always locked. He could not explain the footsteps. In the part of the building that actually had the jail cells, there are rooms that still have the bars and the bunks in them. It is a very unique place to stay. While an inn may be a nice place to stay, a jail cell was not a happy place. Some people say that they still feel the presence of old inmates in some of the rooms. Some people feel like they are being watched. Some claim to have heard the sound of crying from within the room when no one was there. And one particular room was the site of 2 separate prisoners' suicides by hanging. At the back of the building, there are stairs that go from where the prisoners were brought in when it was a jail, to all the way up to what once was a chapel on the top floor. The stairs to the top floor are closed to guests, and the door is locked. On Sundays, prisoners would have been marched up the stairs to the chapel for service. Room 10 is a very unique room. At one point, while the building was a jail, this was the nurse's station. A door in the wall would have led to the waiting room for inmates needing to see the nurse. The room also overlooks the courtyard, where prisoners would have outdoor time, but that was also where executions by hanging took place. A young couple was staying in room 10. They checked in and seemed to really like the room.
Wow. I love it.
They went out for the afternoon to enjoy the town.
I don't know, I could go there again. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, what happened?
The door had been locked, but somehow all of their belongings had been scattered around the room. The manager told them that no one had been up to their room. They would have noticed if anyone other than a guest had entered the inn. They couldn't explain it. Nothing was missing, so they put it out of their mind and went out for dinner. They seemed to have a good night and had no troubles when they returned. The night was peaceful. They were sleeping well until...
Mark, wake up! Wake up!
What?
That was enough. They were not sticking around for more. Rob had returned on another occasion, but this time he was staying in room 10. The courtyard visible from the window was where the prisoners would take outdoor time, but was also the place where those sentenced to death would have been executed by hanging.